One of the most interesting common genres in Thai drama is forced marriage. It is usually when the male lead blackmails the female lead to get married to him or vice versa. It can also be because the relatives or family force them to get married or just because of a certain circumstance. Well, actually, there are many Lakorns with forced marriage, but only some of them is where we can really see the word force, to the point that it is very visible that they hate each other. That's why in this video, I released my top 15 forced marriage Thailand dramas of all time as of 2022. Most of these have possessive male lead, slap and kiss, and revenge. Number 1. Gentleman Thief Series 2. In order to prove himself to his father, the male lead, a son of the leader of a bandit village, he had to steal the most valuable possession from the second male lead, a lieutenant. And so, he was forced to kidnap his fiancée, who is the female lead. However, after presenting her to his father, he was given a task: get married to her and make her pregnant, then send her back to her fiancé. And that's how the story starts. Number 2. Rapturous Claim. The female's father accuses the male's father of murder and gets him imprisoned. Years later, the male is determined to get revenge. He starts by seducing the female's sister, then leaving her on the wedding day. The female is very furious at the man who hurt her family and wants revenge. And so, both of them fight each other on their family's behalf and try to destroy each other. However, they ended up marrying each other as the male decides to propose to her because it will cause the most pain to her father. And the female unwillingly agrees, so he will stop seeking revenge on her family and will turn to her instead. Number 3. Marriage Mission. The female is a wealthy, spoiled girl who returned from studying abroad. She finds out that her parents were in debt and she had to pay it. Fortunately, the male's mother helped her. On the other hand, the male is the grandson of a famous farm owner. After his godfather passed away, he left a conditional will that he had to marry and have a child within a year to inherit the farm. And so, the male lead's mother pushed the male lead and the female lead toward a marriage, but both of them refused. However, when his mother revealed that she was going to die soon, they eventually accepted the marriage and agreed to pretend to be married for 6 months. Number 4. My Husband-in-Law. The female who is smart and talented has been living with her crush, the male lead, for more than 7 years. During that period, a simple crush develops into love, but the male lead simply sees her as someone to tease and is completely unaware of her feelings. The male lead, on the other hand, is intelligent, wealthy, hardworking, and handsome. His only flaw is being a little bit of a player. However, trouble arises when he sleeps with the wife of a mafia, putting his life in danger. To protect him, his mother forces him to marry the female lead and she agrees for his safety. Number 5. The NB Code. The female is the young heiress of a billionaire. After her parents were killed and her aunts and cousins stole their company and assets, she seeks revenge. She started by blackmailing the male lead, who is the man her cousin is in love with, about his father's crimes and evil deeds. In exchange for not exposing it, she forced him to get married to her. However, as time goes by, they fall in love and the female starts to appreciate his love as she learns to forgive. Number 6. Love and Deception. After his father was murdered, the male discovers that his girlfriend was actually his father's lover, making her a key suspect in his death. However, she runs away with another guy, and now, the male lead starts to blame her younger sister, the female lead, who has always had a secret crush on him. However, his anger at her soon grew into a desire until he forced her into marrying him. They soon find themselves in the cycle of love, vengeance, and pain. Number 7. The Evil Plan Ends with Love. The female lead grew up with her adopted brother and sister. They promised to be always there for each other. So when her adopted sister is tricked into marrying Pink, who is pregnant by another man, he asks the female lead for help. she comes up with the plan of trying to disrupt and stop the wedding. However, their plan backfires as she was forced to get married to Pink's uncle. Number 8. A woman's hairpin. The male is the son of a farm owner. However, after having a misunderstanding with his father, he runs away at a young age. After a few years, he comes back after his father's death. He never got to make up with his father, who died at the hands of his own wife. And now, the Milid was determined to get revenge and take back his inheritance from his stepmother. As he plotted his plan, he fell in love with the female lead and the two get married. However, she was only forced to marry him for his stepmother who supported her education. Number 9. Frau Mook. After the female lead was shot, his parents believed that it was a misfortune. So to ward off the bad luck, they asked the female lead to marry their son. And in exchange, they offered to buy back her father's house, which they lose due to death. The female lead then agrees, vowing to make him fall in love with her to get revenge on him. The male lead, on the other hand, thinks that she is selfish and manipulative. The two now develop a love-hate relationship as they search for the person who is trying to murder him and spend their days attempting to challenge one another. Number 10. Ginger is spicy, Galang is hot. The story starts with the female lead, a journalist. She follows the male lead to a psych ward where she discovers that his mother is still alive and not dead as was announced to the media. And now, after the female reveals the secret, the male lead gets angry and started to have a lot of misunderstanding with her. However, they suddenly found themselves being forced to get married to each other by the male lead's mother. Number 11. Charming Deception. The male lead's life changed when his mother killed herself after being raped by the female lead's father, and then his father died of grief. He was taken care of by his uncle, and from a young age, he studied hard and was determined to get revenge on the female lead's family. Years later, he started his plan by destroying her siblings and getting their family in debt. However, after the female lead confronts him, he then offered her to marry him as a solution, which she agreed because she felt sorry for her siblings. Number 12. Fury Love. The two female leads are half sisters who are always competing with each other and willing to do anything to be on top and defeat each other. And now, they bet on the pure love of two brothers. One of them will use it to take revenge on her sister because she doesn't believe in true love, and the other one will use it as an opportunity to pursue the man she loves no matter what. However, what they didn't know is that they were not the ones in control of this game. Number 13. The Angel and the Mafia. The male is an agent who was assigned to be undercover and get rid of a mafia group. On the other hand, the female lead is an orphan who is now a flight attendant. On their first day, she gets involved with the male lead's mission and they started to have a misunderstanding. However, later on, they found themselves forced to get married to each other due to some promises since the male lead's stepmother is the female lead's lifesaver. Number 14. The God of Deception and the Goddess of Disguise. The male lead is a playboy and likes to spend his days with a lot of pretty girls. However, one day, he finds out that she was engaged with his father's friend's daughter. He has no choice because he has to marry her within 3 months to get his inheritance. On the other hand, the female disguises herself into several identities to test him if he truly loves her before they get married. And lastly, Tears of Pearl. This drama is about the female lead instant woman. To pay off her mother's debt, she works as a maid to a lady who has a daughter. The daughter was in arranged marriage with the male lead, but she didn't want to marry him. And one day, after the mother and daughter were out, the male lead went there to see his wife-to-be. However, he mistaken the female lead as his fiancée and come to like her. And now, the female lead suddenly found herself forced to become a substitute bride for the male lead. And that's my top 15 forced marriage Thailand dramas of all time as of 2022. Thank you for watching!